guys, what is up? It is I, the Concrete Catwalk. Those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I love all things thrift, vintage, new, nearly new, estate sailing, you name it. I love it. To my catwalkers, mwah! Welcome back to a new video. This Sunday, those of you who are newly subscribed, thank you so much for coming along together on this journey. Before we get into it, I am using a microphone because I want to come across very clear and crisp to you guys without so much background noise. Notice sometimes when I'm on camera, I do hear a little excess background noise and overhead noise. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit better experience. I have a stand for this mic, but I feel a little bit more comfortable holding it. Let's get into this. So as you saw from the title, my thoughts on a little LaBubu, 1 teaspoon, and why I am really challenged with customer service these days, and that is based upon my experience with an order I placed with 1 teaspoon. But before we get into 1 teaspoon, let's talk about LaBubu. I purchased this little LaBubu last year, the end of 2024, not knowing that LaBubu was going to be a big ticket demand piece in 2025. Now, when I saw this, I just ordered a blind box. So you just pick a box. She's a little monster. She's very cute. One thing that I didn't know was that my LaBubu, when I initially put her on my bag, she was just in her fur. And I'll post a picture here so you can see what I mean. She was just in her fur. And I didn't know LaBubu was naked. So I ended up getting a little track suit for her. I had no idea that you could get clothes for little LaBubu. And when I realized that now, really real in 2025, it's not the move to walk around with your little LaBubu naked, I got her this little tracksuit. Her little tracksuit set me back about $20. Would I get more than one little LaBubu? No. I think having one is enough. And would I get another outfit for her? Possibly, maybe. But I'm glad that I got her. Yeah, I'm glad that I got her by Pop Mart. And I just think she's adorable to own. That brings me to something that I am going to be announcing as we get closer to the end of this video, and it has to do with a giveaway, so you'll have to stay tuned until we get there. But I do want to get into this situation I went through with 1 teaspoon. I love to shop online for the most part. When I do shop online, it usually is a very good experience, but it's always one exception to the rule, and I just didn't think that it would be with 1 teaspoon. Well, I purchased from 1 teaspoon online because they had some sales going on, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and see if I can't find something. And I did. I found two pairs of shorts, the Bandits. I'm a big fan of the Bandits. I have a couple pair already that I've had over 2 years, and I wanted to freshen up because they have got newer versions, styles of the Bandit. And I was like, okay, these are on sale. Let me get these. And I did. Sometimes when things auto populate, it doesn't necessarily put what is supposed to be in the box, especially if it's like drop down addresses. And you guys know how it works. You'll type in your address and you think that it has populated your address, and it may be one number off or one street off or whatever it is. I did not realize this until I had gone back the next day to check my order. Order was still processing, so I figured, hey, I got enough time. Let me let them know so that it can be corrected before they ship it out. I reach out to them through their customer support email, and I explain the situation, and they say, well, we process very quickly, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. You may want to consider reaching out to DHL, who is going to be the shipper, because this is coming from another country. And I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. I can call DHL, 1-800-DHL, here we go. So I call DHL. DHL says, hey, yeah, we see your shipment's en route, but there's nothing we can do with the address. You may want to go and talk to 1 teaspoon again. I carry myself back to One Teaspoon, send them a message and say, hey, listen, DHL is saying, since you're the seller, you can make whatever changes you need to make. That's when we get the hard stop from One Teaspoon, and they say, well, because of the fact it's already been sent out, there's nothing that they can do. The best thing that you can do is follow the package's route with DHL, and once it arrives to your country, it will then be handed off to the United States service. Okay, fine. No problem. I figure once it's in the hands of, I can contact them and let them know the problem. Ha! Little did I know that that would also be an issue. I'm doing my due diligence to say, you would think following the course of the right thing to do, me, the customer, concerned about what's coming or not coming based upon a mix up of an address, that it would be an easy thing to solve. No, none whatsoever. And I'm shocked because as you're doing this, you're making these purchases and you're thinking, okay, well, it's not going to be a problem if I have a problem, but it becomes a bigger problem. I get into my car, go to my respective locale for the post office, let them know what the circumstance is, kindly request, please do not send this to X. I'd rather just come in and pick it up. And you think that that would solve the problem. It did not, because ultimately the package got delivered to the wrong address. I'm again, as the customer, doing the legwork saying, hey, look, it went to the wrong address, da da da. You guys, biggest debacle ever. All of this could have been avoided had they just taken the initiative, i.e., One Teaspoon, suggestion and some advice. You may want to do better with your customer service. One thing that I did get triggered with is that experience made me go a little bit further and take a look at what their reviews were based upon their customer service. I am not by myself when people say, nope, sorry, One Teaspoon, sorry, nope. And I would concur. My experience trying to resolve this as the customer, no. As a business owner myself, my responsibility is to make sure what? If there's a problem, as the seller, me as the seller, One Teaspoon, you're the seller. So you have an unhappy customer because they're telling you that there's something wrong and you don't go any further to try to solve the problem, then that's a problem. And I think the same way a large scale retail business would be, and they can get away with saying, oh, sorry, it's not our problem because it's out of our hands. It would be unacceptable on my end as a small business owner because people would be, they'd be calling from the hills. Oh, no, she didn't want to do this. She didn't want to do that. Okay, let me just tell you what happened. When I found out that it was indeed delivered to the wrong address and then had to go to the post office and explain it and didn't know at that point if they were going to be able to get the package to get it to me or not, I kindly sent One Teaspoon support an email. And I explained to them, hey, listen, I don't know where the package is. I don't know if the Postal Service can find it. It made it here by way of DHL, but da 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 da. Their response back to me was, so sorry for your frustrations, but unfortunately, once it leaves our hands, we are no longer responsible for said same. Really? If there's anything else, please feel free to query. Really? Really? So I sent them an email back and I said, so what if I don't receive my package? Then what? And you know what I got as a response? Crickets. Crickets. Nothing. So, do you think it left a sour taste in my mouth? It most certainly did. Do you think I was happy with everything the way they left it? No. Did I, in the end, receive my package? Thank God, yes, I did. But it taught me a valuable lesson. If I can spend the money on your site, but you don't respect me as a customer when I have concerns, and it's just, oh, well, and you don't even attempt to make the effort to just say, hey, what can we do to help you? We want to make sure you're satisfied. So you just gave me a big, you know what, finger with your response, essentially saying, oh, well, hell, sorry if it doesn't get to you. And I just think that that's unacceptable. And I want to know from you guys if you've ever had this happen in terms of customer service. After I got that response and I checked back to see if I was going to get any more after I sent off my message about, so what happens if I don't receive it? Because I wanted to test it. I wanted to see. I wanted to see what people's concerns were with them and their customer service. And boy, I was not disappointed. People had a whole lot to say about One Teaspoon's customer service, and I was not surprised. In fact, it validated exactly how I was feeling. Like, I can't be the. I wonder if I'm the. Nope. You have people who are spending their hard earned money, right, to go and make a purchase from your business, right? And they tell you that something is wrong, even though it may be after the fact. You should be doing everything in your power to make sure what? That there is some type of assistance, even though it may not be much, even though it may be outside of the scope of what you can do because it's already left your hands. Please don't mic drop in my face and be like, oh, well, sorry for your frustration. That's our terms and agreement and policy. That who wants to? Okay. Who? I believe there's a way to say everything to somebody, even if it may not be what they expected. It's going to be bad news or worse news. There's a way that you deliver it where it's not so snarky, because what I got was snark. But ultimately, it did teach me a lesson that the way that I handle my customers and their concerns and their problems matters. And that to some businesses, it just really doesn't matter. You spent your money, oh well. If you don't get it and it went to the wrong place, that's on you. Okay, lesson learned. Because at the end of the day, it is about treatment. The experience starts from when you press buy all the way through to when you receive it and what happens in between. I don't think they'll be in rotation for a site that I purchased from. Just saying. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Customer service issues, problems. Have you ever experienced something where you were just told, oh, go pound sand if you spent the money and you don't get the item and it was a mistake? We can't help you. This was something else. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Let me just say this to you too, because there is going to be an announcement in the next upcoming video of a giveaway that is going to be starting. So you do not want to miss out. You want to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so that anytime a giveaway comes up, you are automatically subscribed. Drop a like, leave a comment. Based upon that giveaway, you will be good to go. I post videos. I try to every Sunday, but you know, life be life, and then sometimes I can't. If you do not want to miss out on anything that I post, tap that and you'll receive notifications each time I post a new video. Links to my socials will be listed in the description box below. You can also head on over to Poshmark. You can check out my closet. I am Concrete Catwalk on Poshmark. Feel free to leave me a message there if you see anything in my closet that you like, or you can head on over to Instagram. I am the Catwalks Concrete on IG. Feel free to DM me there if there's anything in my Poshmark closet you see that you like. Thank you so much for stopping by this week. Be safe. See you all in the next video.